Hi, everyone. I am Alcira Pastula, and I'm here with Tim Burks. Tim, do you want to introduce yourself?
Good morning. I'm Tim Burks. I'm the Vice President of Body Shop and Shop Operations.
And we have a awesome plan for you all today. We're going to be looking at Freightliners, Kenworth, and a Volvo, and all the features that those have for them. Don't forget, if you have questions for the shop, you can submit them ahead of time for our Wednesday shop Q&A at 4 p.m. And we have a whole list of lives still going on throughout the rest of the week. So make sure to tune in and check those out. All right, let's get started. So let's go to our Freightliner. What do we have going on out there?
All right. Well, we've got Rebecca out there who's going to be our model to help, show all the trucks off today. So this is a 25 model year Freightliner Cascadia. We've had the Cascadia in our fleet for quite some time. This one's got some new features that we didn't have in previous models. Number one is the new 2025 Freightliner Cascadias have the right side blind spot warning system that's on there. So that'll give you an audible and a flashing light to let you know if there's something there in your blind spot on the right side of the vehicle. And it'll pick up all different types of things, fixed objects, moving objects, pedestrians. So it's a nice safety feature that's been added. Also, the 2025 Freightliner is standard disc brakes all the way around this year. We had disc brakes last year, but drum in the rear. Now it's disc brakes all the way around. And there's quite a few features that this truck still has from the previous year models. So as you go through, obviously it's got the Detroit DD15 liter, and it's got the DT12 transmission in it. It's got 450 horsepower. And then when you start looking at the overall truck itself, it's got a 72-inch sleeper, so there's plenty of room on the inside of the tractor. And if you can see that they went through, we've closed out the fender wells a little bit. We've put some guards there. Those are to really help improve the fuel efficiency of the vehicle. And then, guys, if we can open the door and go on the inside of the vehicle.
So I love the safety features. I have that in my car, and I love knowing when there's something there so I can't go into that lane.
Exactly.
And then just for those who may not be familiar, what are disc brakes, and what's the difference between what was there before?
Well, so disc brakes are just a newer version of, they're a lot more efficient for stopping power than drum brakes are.
Okay.
And they should last a lot longer. They have the ability to cool down much faster than drum brakes do.
Okay.
So their ability to dissipate heat is much greater than a drum brake.
So it's an upgrade.
It's an upgrade, right? This truck also has the advanced cruise control collision mitigation system on it. You can see the dash and everything pretty much has stayed the same. The one thing that is new is if you can zoom in on the right side of that dash right below the stereo, you'll see that the Freightliner now comes with an air suspension pressure gauge, right? And there's a little chart you can look at, and that's really designed to help you understand how much weight you have on your drive axles, right? Based off of that amount of pressure. So that's a new feature that we've added to the truck this year. You'll notice that the interior on this particular truck is a darker interior. It's almost like a charcoal gray. When you look at the storage in this truck, there's just tons of storage all over. So there's plenty of room for you to store your gear. This truck's also equipped with the idle management system. So that's pretty much standard in all of our trucks and has been for the last 2 or 3 years. We've got, a fairly good sized closet there for you to hang your stuff in. Overhead storage compartments there. The Freightliner also has a very good sized refrigerator in there. That wasn't very good English, was it?
No,
but it does have a really good refrigerator.
We get a lot of questions about the storage in the trucks,
right.
And do they have fridges? So they
do.
Every truck comes with a fridge in it.
Every truck. And this one's got a little freezer in it too, where you can put some items that need to stay frozen. You just lift that lid up, and it's got a little built-in freezer in there. And then obviously it's got a place for you to mount your TV and for you to set your microwave. On the Freightliner, you can pivot that TV mount out so that you can put it, up so that you're not having to, look at it sideways. And then obviously the microwave goes right above. One of the other nice features that the Freightliner has is on the top bunk, there's a ladder that'll come down that you can use to help climb up into the top bunk, which is a pretty nice feature.
That
And
is
then obviously all of our trucks come with brand new mattresses. Normally they're rolled up when it's a brand new truck. They'll be laid in there. There's a top and a bottom bunk mattress. The Freightliner also comes with the Eaton power inverter. It's a 1800 watt power inverter that'll supply power for everything that you need to run your microwave or to watch your TV. All of the controls for the comfort system and everything can be controlled from the bunk. This truck also has our standard S-bar fuel heater for the bunk, so that in the wintertime you can run the fuel heater. You don't have to idle the truck. Obviously, you'd put the truck into battery mode at that particular point in time. So most of the features are pretty standard on this truck. We have the privacy curtains. The real add-on this year was the blindside warning and the disc brakes all the way around.
Yes.
Okay.
Very nice looking truck.
Yep.
So we do have a question here. Will Swift ever allow owner ops to purchase APUs?
Well, an owner-operator can purchase, if they want one, they can definitely purchase one. Yes,
Okay, so they can do that now.
they can.
Okay.
All right, I think our next truck is going to be the Kenworth T680. Right. So this truck, came out a few years ago, this body style. We know a lot of drivers love the body style of this truck. So as I mentioned last year, Kenworth's done a good job. We had some initial small issues with some of the plastic trim coming off. Those issues have been fixed. Really, the only thing that's really changed this year on the Kenworth is it does have disc brakes all the way around.
Okay.
Right. And the updated clip designs that'll help keep those pieces on, those have all been in place now for the last couple of years. This truck, if we can go on the inside, it's a T680. It's got a 76-inch sleeper on this truck. When you get on the inside, you'll notice that it's a little bit of a lighter gray of an interior. The dash cluster, all that stuff has stayed the same. The Kenworth, you can customize the dash and the gauges to see, to your preference,
Oh, so
which
it's
is pretty
digital.
nice. Yeah, it's all digital. You can adjust it to see, what you want to say. There have been quite a few additional USB ports and charging ports put in to the trucks this year on pretty much all the models, but there's a real handy one right there on the Kenworth for you to be able to put your cell phone to charge it, and then there's a place there for you to store it. Obviously, all of our trucks come with the air release fifth wheel, which is really nice. You don't have to get out and pull your fifth wheel release handle. There's air release handles that do that for you. They all come with dump valves on them. The Kenworth also has a very good size refrigerator, plenty of storage in it. If we can get Rebecca to open that fridge.
And it's pretty roomy, right?
Yeah,
inside?
it's very roomy. That center layer, you go. Right, and so you can see it's got a little bit of a bigger freeze up on the very top of it. We can put a little bit more stuff in there, and then it's got those nice spacers in there so you can space out your items for your storage. Plenty of room for storage, good sized closets. Obviously, this truck comes equipped with an idle management system. It has the Tundra power inverter in it. It's a 2,000 watt inverter. All of your controls for the bunk are right there where it's within reach of the driver when they're laying in bed. And obviously, this truck also has the S-bar heater in it and the idle management system as well. No ladder to get on the top bunk for this one, but there's plenty of steps on either side that you can use to step up to get into the bunk. It does have a very deep drawer there, which is pretty nice. And then the bottom one as well is fairly large and plenty of room for storage there. And then the TV mount is similar. It's on a pivot, so you can move it out and position it where you would like for it to go. And then obviously a place up above for your microwave to go. So lots of neat features in the new Kenworth T680.
I love that they have like a little kitchen. They have like
Right.
mic area, a fridge area, a place to put
Well,
their stuff.
And the other thing they all have is the privacy curtains, right? We didn't show that, but you have privacy curtains that you can close off the whole sleeper area and the entire front part of the tractor can be completely closed off. And those are really designed to give you privacy, but also to help manage the temperature inside the cab of the truck as well. Okay, and then they just Velcro back, and you can lock them in and get them out of your way. Okay,
That's great.
and I think our next truck is the Volvo V&L 670. This particular truck it's not the new body style. It's the traditional V&L 670 body style. This truck itself also comes with all wheel disc brakes all the way around. This truck also has the right side blind spot warning system for our drivers. It also has the advanced collision mitigation cruise control system with it, just as the Kenworth and the Freightliner does. Really, nothing's really changed much on the body style of this particular, Volvo tractor. When you start looking at and getting into the inside of this interior, Volvo's done a pretty good job over the last few years of really sprucing up the interior inside the trucks. You can see this truck has the exact same interior package as last year's model. It is a light gray interior. But the additional attention to details they put in the stitching of the seats really, add just a little bit of extra flair and give it a little bit different look than what most trucks have.
Yeah, is that a red trim on that?
It's an orange trim.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's some highlights of orange around the dash as well. One of the big things that the Volvo has is that adjustable cup holder. A lot of drivers really like that adjustable cup holder. You can move it to wherever you want to move it to. And then there's also a ton of USB charging ports. You can see there's some underneath the dash. There's two in the up by the stereo, and then on the very top of the dash, they've put additional charging ports and things that you can plug things into. And then they've done a really good job of doing the same thing within the bunk area of the truck as well.
Which is really helpful because not only do you have your phone, you probably have your laptop that you want to charge, maybe some cooking things
Correct.
that you want to plug into your truck and things like that.
Correct. And the other thing that I noticed there is they've got cup holders there in the back there, right in front of those chargers where you can set your drink or your beverage or whatever so that you don't have to worry about it spilling. And then it's got obviously the pull-out desk where you can set your laptop on and be able to do work on and things of that nature with, which makes it pretty nice.
Is that new this year?
No, we've had that option for the last couple of years, and it does have a fairly good-sized refrigerator in it as well. You can see that the freezer area in the Volvo is obviously quite large. Plenty of room to store food for 2 or 3 days inside. This truck also has the idle management system. It also has the S-bar bunk heater. And then it also has the Tundra power inverter. And then all the control panels on the Volvo are on the back wall, which is a little bit different than what the other trucks have. And then you can see you've got more charging ports there as well. So plenty of charging ports. And then there's even a charging port up top behind the upper bunk in case there's a team or something that's driving the truck. And then there's grab handles to where you can climb up and steps to get up to the top bunk. And then the blackout blinds in the sleeper area is a nice touch. Those come up and they come down. They do a really good job of keeping the light out. And then tons of storage, obviously. TV mount's a little bit different on the Volvo. It's inside that cabinet, but it does pivot out, and you can position your TV so that you can get a good view of it.
So it's a little bit higher than the other
A little bit
trucks.
higher than the other two trucks. That is correct.
And then you said those blinds are more plastic than?
Well, they're just a blackout blind, so they're more like blinds in your house. You just push them up and pull them down.
Okay.
Instead of a snap over cloth material. These are actually blackout blinds, so no light comes in when those are closed.
That's a pretty neat feature.
It is. It's a very nice feature, right? And then just tons of storage up above, everywhere. Of all the trucks, the Volvo does have the smaller sleeper, but it's not much smaller than the Freightliner. We're talking 2 inches difference.
So we do have some questions here.
Okay.
Will Swift allow me to put a second refrigerator in the truck? Is that something that we allow?
On a company truck, no. predominantly because in order to do that, you're going to have to take a cabinet or something out, and then the additional load that gets put on the battery. So it's probably not a really good idea to do that because you'll end up having lots of charging issues and things of that nature. So the refrigerator that are in the trucks, we've made them as big as we could get them to fit, and they'll definitely hold 2 or 3 days worth of food, depending on what you buy and how you pack it in there. Right.
Okay.
So it's probably best to just stay with the standard fridge that we have in the truck and not try to run a bunch of additional items off of the batteries.
And it might get crowded, right? Like I can't imagine trying to put a second fridge in there.
It would, yeah. It definitely could create some challenges. There's no doubt.
And then one more question. It says, I'm going to Phoenix. I have a Freightliner and I want to switch to a Kenworth. Can people just switch trucks that easily?
Well, no, there's a process that has to go through. Okay. So my suggestion would be is to get with your driver leader, let them know what you would like to do, and let them have an opportunity to work on it for you to see if they could make find a way to make that happen for you. Right. Each trucks are assigned cost centers and things of that nature, and they come in groups. And as we get them processed, then that terminal is responsible for getting that truck seated. So I would just work closely with your driver leader on that one. Let them know you would like to potentially switch trucks, and let them go to work on that for you.
All right, and then one more. We have, what about our new flatbed trucks? So we didn't really think about that, but that's a great call out. That maybe next time we'll have to make sure to include. Well,
absolutely. And, maybe next year we do bring a flatbed truck up. So the flatbed trucks are a little bit different. They have all the same features and options that the trucks we just showed are. But we did do some additional adjustments to it. So we've added an additional storage box. We've added a side tarp rack for you to be able to store your tarp so you don't have to put them up on the top of your headache rack. And the truck itself is a really good looking truck. So maybe if we have time this week, I'll go grab one and bring it up here and we can do a quick thing or something around it. But they have all the same features. They're just a little bit different design, a little bit longer wheelbase, but have pretty much all the basic standard features other than the upgrades that we've done to make our flatbed drivers' lives a little bit easier when it comes to moving all the dunnage and cargo and things of that nature.
Okay. And they look a little bit bigger to me just from the outside.
Oh yeah, they're longer.
Oh, they are?
yeah, they're a lot longer.
I'd actually love to see one from the inside as well. Right. So maybe if you do bring one out, we can do a small segment and then share it back out on social so people can see that.
Be happy to do it.
Awesome. Well, anything else, Tim? I think we went through all the trucks that we have.
Well, a couple of things. One, I want to thank all of our vendors and sponsors that we have for Driver Appreciation Week all over the nation. That it takes a lot. We're very appreciative of that. Just a reminder, please come by, get your driver gift this year. It's a tire gauge, a tread depth gauge, and a flashlight. That's going to really help you to be able to do your pre-trips and really help you to prevent having, issues out over the road. And just really, we've got a live that's coming up tomorrow for Q&A. So if you can get those questions in so we can get as many of them answered for you as we possibly can, that would be great. And just want to say thank you for everything that you do.
Yes. So if you didn't get your questions in for the shop Q&A tomorrow, make sure that you do, because some of the questions that are coming in will probably be best answered at that live. And it's going to be you and Ken, right?
Correct.
Answering all of your questions live. So make sure to tune in tomorrow and get your questions in ahead of time. And again, we appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on our next live.
Thanks, guys. Stay safe.